Alright, 2.1, collect and delete. The goal is just to get a baker today, and then hopefully a couple extra gallows. So this one's going to be quick. Let me get it done. So we've got 1100 in alloy, so it's perfect for the one baker and one more gallows. That's all we're going to plant this round, and then as we get our happiness more and more under control, we'll need fewer churches during the collect and delete process, but we'll still do the same collect and delete routine, except to replace that footprint with breweries for the purpose of collecting the baker. So I'll get that assembled real quick, but that's pretty much it for 2.1. Alright, everything's put back together. No breweries planted, just the baker and one more gallows. That's it, and then the rest are houses. So this collection we started with 362 alloy that we rolled over from the previous collection, just so we knew that we would have enough to hit the 1,000 on this collection. So that means we generated 800 alloy just from the houses. So next collection we'll get the same 800 minus the space of the bakery, I guess, but roughly 800 in alloy from the housing, as well as 375 from the baker. So we'll actually be able to plant baker number 2 on tonight's collection, and might have a little bit left over for another gallows. After 2 bakers, up until this point, we haven't had supply production, obviously, right? So everything that we have from supplies is coming from the town hall, as well as the map. So the town hall gives 50,000 supplies, picking up a few here and there from the map, as well as what we started with from Ascended stuff. So we haven't had supply producers, but we haven't had a reason to spend supplies. The cost of gallows is 36,000 in supplies. We planted 4 of those, so we're up to 160,000 in supplies on that. And then the baker is 100,000 in supplies, so we've used 260,000 of our supplies for the buildings that we plant. So just to reiterate the problem with the alchemist strategy, we anticipate needing supplies. Once we get into the season, we anticipate that, so trying to build the alchemist early on for the purpose of generating supplies is actually just depleting the initial supplies that you start with. But there's really no reason to spend those until you are able to actually buy the building worth buying. So on another quick side note, I had a teammate ask me about estate house versus multi-house, or multi-story. You can do whatever ratio you want. I wouldn't do purely estate houses, honestly. I mean, you could probably get away with it, but without a thing to get multiplied by the multiplier, like the profit on the estate house is only 20,000 in profit on coin. So it's still profitable, but the profit from the multi-story house is going to give us this cushion on the coin side, where we're up to 5.5 million in coin right now. But this collect and delete pattern is not going to last all season, you know. Eventually we'll get to the point where we have 8 bakeries, start putting in some pillories, buy some goods expansions, things like that. So the amount of real estate that we have to use for just collecting and deleting houses is going to get smaller and smaller. So it is prudent to have a little bit of cushion on the coin side. So with that said, you can do whatever ratio of multi-story to estate that you want. I'm doing the 18 because each group will fit 4 houses, or 4 churches. So collect and delete those 18 plants my first 8 churches. So it just lines up with the grid. But you can do whatever ratio you want. Try to do mostly estate houses, though, just to reduce the amount of population that you're actually trying to make happy. But that's it. I think that's it for 2.1. I'm going to jump over to Arvahall. We may not be able to get a baker in Arvahall this collection, but fingers crossed. Let's go check on that one, see how that works out. Nice, barely got it. 1050 alloy, so cool. Won't have enough left over for a gallows, but that's all right. On another side note here, part of the limitation here in Arvahall is just the amount of space that I started with. So I bought the same expansion group. I bought up to the 350 shards for the shard expansions, but I didn't have as many goods expansions to start, so the space that I'm working with is a little bit more restricted. Less space, less houses, less alloy, right? That's part of the challenge. So there's a temptation to try and buy a goods building early on in the development. Wait until you get a baker to do that, because it, like, I mean, I only have 50 alloy to spare. So you would either have to choose between the expansion or the gallows, and the gallows is effectively an expansion, because it gets you closer to the happiness metric that we need. So you're collecting more of your alloy at its full boost, and it also reduces the footprint of the happiness churches that we need throughout the delete process. So effectively, a gallows is an expansion. It also just conserves your other resources, coin supplies, because remember, we're not producing supplies, so we really can't spend them until we are able to actually start producing them. So that's it for 2.1. I'm going to get the bakery planted. I do encourage you guys to rush it, obviously. Yeah, we worked this hard to get it, so I would encourage you to rush it. Looks like I need to come up with a couple extra shards. That's it for 2.1. I'll talk to you guys later, and we'll see you tonight.